What would you risk for freedom? Your home, your safety, even your life? In 1915, one man in Malawi made that choice. His name was John Chilembwe, a pastor who rose up against one of the greatest empires on earth. This is the story of the rebellion that inspired generations. John Chilembwe was born in 1871 in what was then Nyasaland, today's Malawi. He grew up under the heavy hand of British colonial rule, a system that stripped Africans of dignity and land and forced them into harsh labor. As a young man, Chilembwe traveled to America. There, he studied theology in Virginia and was deeply influenced by ideas of liberty, equality, and justice. Yet he also witnessed the struggles of African Americans, who even in freedom faced racism and discrimination. These lessons shaped him deeply. When Chilembwe returned home, he was not just a pastor. He was a man on a mission. Through his sermons, he reminded his people that they were created in the image of God, worthy of dignity and respect. But oppression grew worse. Colonial land policies forced Malawians into grueling labor on white-owned estates. Families were broken apart. Men worked to exhaustion. Women and children were humiliated. Chilembwe watched his congregation suffer, and his sermons grew bolder. He began to preach not only about heaven, but about dignity on earth. To the colonizers, he was becoming dangerous. Then came the breaking point. During World War I, the British forced Malawians to fight and die in a war that was not theirs. Chilembwe could no longer remain silent. On the night of January 23, 1915, John Chilembwe and his followers launched a daring uprising. They attacked European estates, striking at the symbols of oppression. In one shocking act, they killed a notoriously brutal estate manager. For a brief moment, hope surged. His followers believed that freedom was within reach. But the rebellion was quickly crushed. British forces retaliated with overwhelming power. Chilembwe was hunted down and killed. His church was burned to the ground. Many of his followers were executed or imprisoned. On the surface, it looked like failure. But history remembers differently. Though short-lived, Chilembwe's courage planted seeds of resistance. His cry for dignity echoed across Malawi and beyond. Decades later, when Malawi fought for independence, John Chilembwe's name was on the lips of freedom fighters. Today, his face appears on the Malawian currency. His story is taught as a reminder that freedom begins with courage. John Chilembwe's life leaves us with a question. When faced with injustice, will we stay silent, or will we rise, quietly but powerfully? If this story inspired you, subscribe to Quiet Rise. Here, we share untold stories of courage, faith, and resilience, stories that remind us that even the smallest voice can echo through history.